Good evening, Internet. Welcome back to another night of Strange and Scary Games. I'm that's all just over my shoulder, and tonight we're going to be playing through Lost Wiki Kozlovka. This is another in the Fake OS video game horror series that I'm doing. I like this one a lot. I hope that you guys like it too. As always, thank you for joining me for another night of Strange and Scary Games. I'm going to throw it over to Past Andrew. Let's get into it. Computer and mouse is highly recommended for the intended experience, but you can play it on your Steam Deck, apparently. Lost Wiki, Kozlovka. $78092. Lysenko V. Kozlovka.local. Potential job in Kozlovka. I've read your articles, and I think you can notice what others miss. You're thorough, and more importantly, careful. That's what I need. I've granted you limited access to the database. It holds more than enough if you know where to look. Attachments, database.instructions.doc. Instructions. Use the hyperlinks to navigate around the database. Drag the right words into the report. When you are satisfied with your conclusions, submit the findings to me. I will review them. Kozlovka. Kozlovka is a small town located in the eastern region of Zarnava, nestled at the edge of the Bialowieza forest. The town boasts its agricultural achievements with incredibly fertile soil. Bialowieza forest is located next to the town of Kozlovka. Great, thanks. Known for its distinctive natural features, it is home to an ancient tree, the Draken Oak, which is believed to be over 1,000 years old. What? Kozlovka? It's a quiet town in Zarnava. It is beside the Bialowieza forest, a vibrant woodland with a very distinctive ecosystem. At the heart of the forest, a tall tree stands proud, that locals refer to as the Draken Oak. The town itself has a thriving symbiotic ergot. Isn't ergot the thing that causes hallucinations? Kozlovka was founded in 1887 and survived significant challenges, including German occupation during World War II and later Soviet influence. Medicinal herbs? Agriculture. That's what I said. You found something, but not enough. If you want to keep going, you'll need to understand where the place began. Look for patterns and connections. The flowchart is a tool, not a solution. Follow the threads, not the labels. Engraved on the tree are 2 runes. Quercus dracensis, Draken Oak, is a rare and ancient tree in the Bialowieza forest. The carving on the trunk was said to be pagan tradition to honor the agricultural season. It is protected by the Zarnavian government in 1991 after establishing their independence. The tree is the primary host for the fungus symbiotic ergot. Where's this flowchart? Oh, is this the flowchart? Got it. Year of Zarnava independence. Date of the Winter Festival. Zarnava declared independence in 1991. So where was... This initiative started in 1991 when Zarnava gained its independence. Its purpose was to preserve sites and documents of cultural significance. See below the list of topics related to the ZCPI. Slavic rune symbols. Zarnavians have an Eastern Slavic ancestry and formed pagan beliefs, some of which come in the form of runes. Few locals, like the witch, still believe they hold power. The witch is a local shaman who owns a small shop. What's with her eye? On Kozlovka's high street. She is most known for her appearance with her iconic one bloodshot eye. Even as a pillar of Kozlovka's culture, there is a decline in interest for ancient pagan rituals. As a tourist, you can get her signature spiritual chalk. Spiritual chalk is the flagship product of the witch, a local shaman of Kozlovka's high street. It is advertised to be able to commune with the surrounding nature and the souls of those who perished with rune symbols. Traditionally, it is a woman's job to mark sites with rune symbols, as many did in the past. Okay. Oh, hey, it's Rusty Lake. It's the hypercube. Protection against misfortune and ill omens. How do I get back to the tree? So it's got the cross, and then it's got the DNA. Restless spirits. Slavic rune is a symbol of fertility tied to the bountiful harvest. It is often carved into tools or boundary stones. And then twin glyph. The two interwoven lines represent duality, growth and decay, renewal and remembrance. Some rural communities believe that this Slavic rune was a symbol of transition rather than an end. Fungus is likely the cause of the town's agricultural success. Symbiotic ergot. Engraved on the tree, there are two runes, the top being Zemina's cross and the bottom being the twin glyph. Locals clearly hold spiritual beliefs tied to the forest. These beliefs are not unfounded, for there are colonies of symbiotic ergot around the tree. Fungus is likely the cause of the town's agricultural success. Thank you. Apologies for being cautious. I needed to know you were the right person for the job. I haven't been fully honest with you. This isn't just research. Someone I cared about disappeared in the early 90s. Official records are incomplete and inconsistent. Most people stopped asking. I didn't. String of disappearances. No hint available. That's not good. Dragunov family. The date of the Winter Festival. Dr. Mstislav Dragunov is an accomplished medical doctor and local pharmacist of Kozlovka. He was the first to formulate a medicine using the local colony of symbiotic ergot. No one has been able to replicate his success. He is a vocal advocate of using Kozlovka's medicinal herbs for nationwide medical use. Ironically, due to Kozlovka's incredibly fertile soil, the medicinal herbs grown in the area are too potent for use and are not approved by the government. However, some locals vouch for their effectiveness, such as the local pharmacist, Dr. Mstislav Dragunov, and the witch, although she advocates more for its use in ancient pagan rituals. I don't know the hint. Jan Dragunov is the current mayor of Kozlovka. He came into mayorship after he superseded his father, Attila Dragunov, in 1992. He was best known for proposing the Modern Farming Initiative, in which he invited Dr. Kasimir Ostrovsky to Kozlovka to undergo research. Attila Dragunov was the mayor of Kozlovka from 1945 to 1992. He is best known for establishing the Kozlovka police force and his affection for bisons. He was superseded by his son Jan Dragunov when he mysteriously vanished as part of the tragedy commonly known as the 90s disappearance. Most notably, Attila Dragunov. I want to say it's Dr. Kasimir and then the Modern Farming Initiative for these ones. But I don't know how to find out that it was Dr. Kasimir. Available. Here's the rune. Is there a way to reset? Date of the Winter Festival. No hint. Doesn't seem to have anything. In the 1990s, there was a string of disappearances, most notably Attila Dragunov. Dr. Kazimir Ostrovsky was also the victim of disappearance. It was because of this that the Modern Farming Initiatives were scrapped. Victims' belongings were found in the Bialowieza forest, which is where they were presumed to have met their ends. I can't believe they were so close to the town. This changes a lot of things. I need you to investigate further. By now, you must have tried to access our tragedy page. We normally don't show this to the public, but I'll make an exception. Dear Vola, thank you for contacting Town Hall after considering your close relationship with the governing bodies. Your request to access the article Kozlovka Tragedies has been approved. Below is a one-time code to access the page. Code 7328. For an uneventful town, Kozlovka has had a fair share of tragedies throughout its history. See below the list of notable incidents. 90s disappearances. Already seen that. Summer plague. In August 1990, an unusual wave of deaths spread across the town. Most victims had pre-existing medical conditions and were found deceased in their homes. Postmortems revealed unidentified fungal matter within the bloodstream. Suspected at first to be a fast-moving contagion, the tragedy ended as suddenly as it began. What am I doing here for the report? In 1965, a tragedy occurred when locals were reporting their pets missing to the authorities. It was revealed that dozens of animals were found mutilated at the foot of the Draken Oak. Although the investigation was quickly resolved, the bodies were proven difficult to retrieve due to them decaying at a faster rate in the soil. Earliest to latest, 1965. It's got to be in the forest. In 1892, dozens of locals were killed during the Winter Festival. Culprit was caught murdering festival attendees in front of Draken Oak. When cornered, the culprit slit their own throat and joined their victims at the foot of the tree. This is the earliest tragedy recorded in Kozlovka. The Winter Festival occurs every year on the 15th December. The festival celebrated the hardship between people endured through the year. Wives would take up their husbands' tools as a sign of kinship and equal footing. The holiday is no longer celebrated since the massacre in 1892. So, 15 December. Kozlovka was founded by Bohdan Dragunov. Originally a carpenter, his career shifted to farming after having their first child, who was born sickly. He was famous for being a terrible farmer, but nevertheless persevered. He was always devout to his wife and is famously said to have borrowed her strength in times of need. Story goes that their love guided them to this plot of land in hopes of starting anew as a family. A memorial was erected to honor the family, which includes a quote that reads, "For the loss of a few, there is still many." Alina Dragunova was the founding member of Kozlovka. She was incredibly spiritual and set up the Winter Festival as her way of celebrating her husband's crops. The festival attracted dozens of people whose families make up Kozlovka today. She was always devout to her husband and was known in the community to set everything aside for the sake of her family. Okay, where was the agriculture? So 1900, like 1940s, And then 1960s, maybe? Oh, that's got to be the 1800s. 1800s, like 1940s, and then like... Ah, there we go. So late 1800s, 1840s, and then 1990. So where's the tragedies? This is 1940, so that's got to be the second one. Festival Massacre, 1890s. Animal killings? 90s disappearances. And then In the Forest. For a small town, Kozlovka had its fair share of tragedies. Among them, these are the tragedies that coincide with sudden spikes in Kozlovka's agricultural yield, from earliest to latest: the Festival Massacre, Battle of the Forest, 90s disappearance. Coincidentally, these tragedies were all committed in the Bielowieża forest. Your findings have been more than helpful. They're disturbing. This pattern we're uncovering, it's not random. Someone knew. Someone let it happen. You must have redacted bypass installed on your system, like any good journalist. It's been a while since it's been prohibited by the government, so here's a refresher on how to access it. In order to enable redacted bypass, you must first have your system code. You can find this in your computer system. Can I zoom in? Then you will need to find the local area code of the city you'd like to bypass. You can find these in all addresses. So do I need to log out? Oh, version 1.2, system code 342. Hello. 342. Then you will need a local area code of the city you'd like to bypass. You can find these in all addresses. Local area code. Four, 5, 1. Okay, now how do I open this? Nope. Okay, what do I do now? Is there a second page? How do I open up redacted, whatever, redacted bypass? Oh, there it is. So it's 342. And then 451. With this program, you can access data from articles that have been previously modified by local authorities. Insert article name to continue. All right. I saw... Jan was infamous for being vocal about his disapproval of the use of the symbiotic ergot. After the plague, he launched the Modern Farming Initiative with the primary goal of phasing out the fungi from use. I bet the witch didn't like that. Alright, Attila Dragunov. As the town was relatively small, there was no sheriff, and so the mayor was responsible for leading investigations. Upon appointing himself sheriff, he stated, "As long as I draw breath, I shall keep this town thriving. Know that I will do what's best for Kozlovka." The victims were frequent patrons of Dr. Mstislav Dragunov, who regularly complained that standard medicine would not help people with such long-standing medical conditions. After a swift investigation, the police said there was no correlation. So Mstislav Dragunov may have murdered these people? Witnesses mentioned that they saw a red glowing dot darting around the area when the mutilation supposedly took place. This sparked a short-lived legend of an angry spirit in the forest. The police stated that this was a baseless rumor. There was a disturbing rumor that the killer carved the runes into the Draken Oak as part of the festival traditions. Although not much evidence suggests this, it was speculated to be the reason why the festival is no longer celebrated. Is there still more to find? He announced a more potent version of his medicine in 1989, but failed safety tests in the subsequent year and was not approved by the government. Is that when people started dying? in August 1990. Yes, it is. All right, so he was poisoning people, it seems. What am I looking for here? Was it Jan? Or was it Tyla? Where's the government? I know that we had the government on here somewhere, right? I guess we don't. Huh. Something is not correct. Between people driving up and down the street and my roommate yelling at whatever game he's watching, I'm like so on edge here. Oh, not the medicinal herbs. Modern Farming Initiative. Symbiotic ergot. There we go. After the government's disapproval of their product, Dr. Mstislav Dragunov caused the tragedy Summer Plague. Because of this, Jan Dragunov proposed the Modern Farming Initiative to abandon any uses of the symbiotic ergot. Jesus Christ. Mstislav is a good man, but I knew his ambition would get to him. To think he risked innocent lives. I may have found something that is of use. What's inside is sensitive. Handled accordingly, I'll continue digging around for more material. To whom it may concern, as you may know, it has been 3 months since our mayor went missing. He was dear to our hearts, but alas, we must come together and continue running the town. The control of the Kozlovka police force and its public database will be transferred to his son, Ian Dragunov, and as he will be taking the reins as mayor of the town. With that, the passcode to the town ledger has been changed. It is now the heading code of the town hall. Heading code, which I think that we have. It's HW6. Is that right? HW6. Is that an H or an N? NW6. What is... Don't understand. Is it 1273? No. So, redacted bypass. It says that this is the heading code. In Northwest. What is Northwest? Well. Nope. All right. Plus 45. So north is 0, northeast is 45, east is 90, southeast is 135, south is 180, southwest is 225, west is 270, northwest would be 315, 3156. Passcode accepted. This ledger details the family that governs the town of Kozlovka. See below the list of family members. I know Attila. I know Mstislav. Lilia Dragunova. Lilia Dragunova is the adoptive elder sister of Attila and Mstislav Dragunov. She's got the bloodshot eye of the witch. Although she acted more as a caregiver to the two boys rather than a sibling, not much is known about her besides reports of her eccentric personality. In 1965, the Dragunov family announced that she had run away, though no investigation was held. 1963. Did she run away to become the witch? Her brother, Mstislav, pursued medicine after being inspired by her childhood stories of being sickly, one which damaged her eye, although it was more of a morbid fascination of her condition than a drive to help her. Volha Dragunova is the mother of Jan Dragunov. She was a proud mother and adamantly supported Jan's mayorship after her husband's disappearance. Although she no longer uses their last name, she still has close connections with the family. All right. So the witch. Witch's true name is Lilia Dragunova. They were responsible for the tragedy. Animal killings. They frequently return to the site of the tragedy to carve the rune. Parents' mark. Onto the Draken Oak. Take me to the... Were they not responsible for the animal killings? That timeline would have been... Where is the... Draken Oak? Which one is that? Izvini? Witch's true name is Lilia Dragunova. They were responsible for the tragedy animal killings. They frequently returned to the site of the tragedy to carve the rune Izvini into the Draken Oak. To think that the witch was their sister all along, and to think they had a sister to begin with, it's almost unbelievable. She was adopted. She wasn't their, like, sister. I found this document hidden in the archives. It felt like it was meant to be buried, like it wasn't meant to be found. I hope it helps your investigation. Tree looks to be centuries old. Year 1943. Can be confirmed. There are runes on the tree. However, it isn't in chalk like the pictogram suggests. Seems to be carved with some carpenter tool. Remind soldiers not to trample over the area and be careful of the delicate fungi. They are hard to spot, but they are there. Update. Found a letter written a few days after the incident. We'll attach it along with these notes. What? 1943? Is that something that we need? Have we found everything? German documents showed that the occupation was not a simple invasion, but to also investigate an event that happened in the late 1800s. These documents were given to the local police force. What happened in the late 1800s? That was the festival massacre. Okay, so this is the Battle of the Forest. And this is the Festival Massacre. There was a disturbing rumor that the killer carved the runes into the Draken Oak as part of festival traditions. Although no much evidence suggests this, it was speculated to be the reason why the festival is no longer celebrated. On the Draken Oak. Who'd have been there at that time? $1892. I don't know. Is it Alina? Alina Dragunova is responsible for the tragedy Festival Massacre. They are also responsible for the 2 Slavic rune symbols on the Draken Oak. The rumors of the tragedy spread across Europe and led to another tragedy, Battle of the Forest. This must have been the beginning of it all. I've heard of the legend before, but always thought it was an old wives' tale to scare me when I was a child. I think that we're uncovering a much deeper conspiracy than we thought. Excuse me. I think we're uncovering a much deeper conspiracy than we thought. Surely someone must have known about all of this. How did these tragedies go unnoticed, unconnected? They ousted Mstislav from the family after the tragedy. No, they ousted Lilia. So, animal killings and covered up mistakes by... So it's not Jan. Is it his father? Attila Dragunov intentionally led investigations astray. They ousted Lilia Dragunova from the family after the tragedy animal killings, covered up mistakes made by Dr. Mstislav Dragunov after the tragedy summer plague. I don't think this is a good direction to pursue. You've already done more than enough for the investigation. Your notes have been very helpful, but for now I'm asking you to stop looking into this. Please, leave it be. Who are we talking to? You must have been incredibly close to Attila Dragunov. After all, your real name is Volha Dragunova, isn't it? Attila was my husband. He was everything to me. I loved him, and I never imagined he would be involved in whatever this is. I hired you because I wanted to know what happened to him, not to learn he might have had a part in it. I don't know everything he did, but he was always a private man. Please don't assume the worst without proof. Draken Oak. There is more at play. There is a reason why there are so many Kozlovka tragedies. Everything traces back to one place, and the roots lead back to the Draken Oak. That tree is the center of it all, and your husband is part of it. We've come too far to stop now. I suppose we have to see this through. I went through his office. I hate doing it. It feels wrong, but something caught my eye. I don't know why he had this or what it means. Maybe you'll understand better than I do. I'm sorry, Jan, but it's impossible. The land is too reliant on the symbiotic ergot. Without it, we just can't. Maybe decades later, something can change, but the damage is too dire. Your proposal will fail. There's something else. I think I'm being watched. I might know who's behind the recent incidents, but I need to be certain before I say more. I'll explain in person. 1992. Tyler sent a letter to Jan about how the farming initiative will fail. They also knew who was involved in the 90s disappearances. The summer plague? I said recent. I thought I was rolling with that one. Come on. Oh. I feel like this has to be right? None of that was helpful, thanks. I just want to know what's wrong here. This has to be it. Attila Dragunov was found in his office, sent a letter to Jan Dragunov of how the modern farming initiative will fail. They also knew who was involved in the 90s disappearance. That's exactly what that letter says. This is so fucking aggravating. Is it Casimir? There we go. Dr. Kazimir Ostrovsky sent a letter to Jan Dragunov of how the modern farming initiative will fail. They also knew who was involved in the 90s disappearance. These are the last of what I could find. They know I've been looking into this. If something happens to me, please find. Refer to Research Notes 144 for details. My dearest daughter, do not fear the sacrifice your mother made. Take the fungi and you will not only survive, you will thrive. The land will remember your name as it remembers hers. With all the love I can still give, your father, 17th December, 1892. So this was the Patriarch Dragunov. Dear brother, I read her father's letter. Think about it. If the land feeds on what it is given, then maybe it doesn't have to end in ruin. Maybe this is how we survive. It's no wonder she never seemed to age. All this time, I need to test it. A few small trials just to see. The thought alone has kept me awake for days. I know how it sounds, but this could change everything. Imagine what we could do for the next 50 years. Dear brother, time is running out. I think you'll all have to start soon. Jan invited some expert after your clumsy mistakes, but I think I can handle them. Perhaps your trials were not failures. You said they passed in their sleep? Might be the best solution to make it as painless as possible. It's the best we can do for what we're asking of them. For the loss of a few, there are still many. Is everything all right, Volha? Are you there? I don't think she's there anymore. Hello. I'd like to apologize for Volha Droganova's actions of late. Unfortunately, we've decided to terminate your contract. Please cease all prior investigations. Send your invoice to Town Hall. Your services will be paid in full. Thank you for your cooperation. Who is this? Jan? Is that you? That was a good guess, or perhaps you're simply more perceptive than I gave you credit for. Tell me, what's driving you now? Curiosity? Guilt? Or the need to be right, no matter the cost? You're probably the only one to understand. Too much blood has been spilled in... Kozlovka. Volha and I didn't know what we were uncovering, but now we do, and the world deserves to know. You are naive to think that simply telling everything You are naive to think that simply telling everyone is going to solve anything. Truth doesn't heal. It spreads. It divides. It consumes. Fine. I'll let you continue your investigation. You already have everything you need, perhaps. Perhaps you'll understand the position I've been forced into. Start from the beginning. All right, so... My dearest daughter... So this was written by Bodon. And addressed to... Lola? Suggests that the Festival Massacre was a ritual... No, go away. Was a ritual to cultivate more symbiotic ergot in order to treat Is Attila after Bodon? I don't know who the daughter was. It's got to be Lilia, right? In order to treat Mstislav? Was it Mstislav? This letter was lost to time, only to be found during the... Battle of the Forest. The letter was written by Bodon. I know that. She wasn't a Dragunov, so she doesn't know. It's got to be Lilia because she's the only girl. Festival Massacre was a ritual to cultivate more symbiotic ergot in order to treat one of the brothers' illness. What's wrong? I wish that there was like a family tree. Is there somebody else? There's only 3 women on this board. How can it be anybody else? So this has to be a Tyla. I think that this has to be a Tyla. So written by Bodon. Or was it written by Alina? Do not fear the sacrifice your mother made. No, it's written by Bodon. Is this healing herbs? Medicinal herbs? No. So this has to be Bodan. I'm pretty sure this has to be Lalaya because there's only 3 women on the board and 2 of them are not it. This, I'm pretty sure, is the Festival Massacre. Is there another woman on the board? No, there's not. I don't know why I'm looking for this. Has the game forgotten to give me? Is it Lalaya's? I thought it was one of the boys because it says his son was born ill. His son was born sickly. There we go. The letter was written by Bodan Dragunov, addressed to Lalaya Dragunova. It suggests that the Tragedy Festival Massacre was a ritual to cultivate more symbiotic ergot in order to treat Lalaya Dragunova's illness. This letter was lost to time, only to be found during the tragedy. Battle of the Forest. Continue. So this is Mstislav. Caused the tragedy. Summer plague. Failed to get results. When they were caught, Mstislav took the letter and sent it to Attila? No. Lalaya caused the tragedy, the animal killing. killings. Failed to retrieve results. Okay, so I think that this is what the game wants. I don't think that this is correct. Lilia took the letter and sent it to Dr. Mstislav. Was it Attila? There it goes. Attempting the ritual, Lilia Dragunova caused the tragedy animal killings. It failed to achieve results. When they were caught, Attila Dragunov took the letter and sent it to Dr. Mstislav Dragunov. In their excitement, Dr. Mstislav Dragunov caused the tragedy summer plague. Continue. You're almost there. After the incident, you invited Dr. Kazimir Ostrovsky to research the symbiotic ergot. While research was underway, Lilia started the ritual once again, causing the tragedy. Not the summer plague. The 90s disappearance. Dr. Casimir. Since something was wrong and tried to warn you, but Lilia intercepted the message and had them killed. This alerted you of the crime. After the incident, you invited Dr. Kazimir Ostrovsky to research the symbiotic ergot. While research was underway, Attila Dragunov started the ritual once again, causing the tragedy 90s disappearance. Dr. Kazimir Ostrovsky sensed something was wrong and tried to warn you, but Attila Dragunov intercepted the message and had them killed. This alerted you of the crime. I'm assuming you already figured out what happened next. You killed Attila. He was the last victim of the 90s disappearances. There isn't enough evidence, but I can make a calculated guess. You killed Attila Dragunov. He was the last victim of the 90s disappearance. He may have been my father, but by the end, he wasn't the man I knew. When I learned what he'd done, what he intended to continue, I had to end it. It was foolish, because in the end the burden fell to me. The irony of it all. Some truths rot everything they touch. Do you understand why the past had to stay buried? Kozlovka is true reliance on the symbiotic ergot. The town was built on death, on rituals disguised as tragedies. It's been feeding on that ever since. Casimir only confirmed what I was too scared to admit myself. The town is built on blood, and to an extent, the country of Zarnava. If we stop the process, people will starve. But what's a measly few to sacrifice only every 50 years? It was a curse inherited by my family, but I've grown tired of the charades. I think in my heart I wanted someone to know, I won't stop you from doing what you think is right. I only wish my mother wouldn't need to know. Holy shit. What are these options? We should burn the tree, definitely. So we publish the article. People find out about the sacrifices. They find out about the murder. They find out about the family. Find out about everything. We delete the evidence. There's going to be more rituals. People are going to keep dying. We burn the tree. We're going to kill the country because the ergot is going to stop producing food for everybody. This is fucked up. I think we published the article. I think the truth wants to be free. I think information wants to be free. I think we do our job. Yeah, that's what I'm going with. Zarnava Internal Security has flagged you for unauthorized disclosure of classified material. Your residence is under surveillance. Agents will arrive within 2 hours to take you into custody. Processing will occur at the National Center. One phone call will be permitted. Remain at your registered residence until an agent arrives to avoid escalation. Game created by Yat Fung Lung, yattytheman. Story written by Anastasia S.I. Developed in Godot. I like that. Special thanks to Veronica F. I used to work with Veronica. Thank you for playing. This project was a labor of love, and we hope you enjoyed the experience as much as we enjoyed creating it. Your game is saved just before the last report. Feel free to explore the other endings. I will do that on my own time. But if you guys like this, you should pick it up and try the other endings for yourself. Let me get out of here. Proof of skill, family trauma, and Dr. Watson is what I've gotten. Oh, I've gotten more. Revelation, closure, and hacker mode. Unlock the redacted bypass. So for some reason, I just got all of those at the end, which is cool because I can add this to my 100% complete folder and get rid of the Steam Deck folder there. Okay, so that was Lost Wiki Kozlovka. I like that a lot. So far, that's been my favorite of the fake OS games. The way that it gives you the what's it called? The flow chart to move through so that you can actually see like how things connect up with each other, how like the disappearances and the tragedies and all of those stem off from each other. I think that's really well done. I did have a question, like when it had the unredacted access thing, redacted bypass. That's it. When it had the redacted bypass instructions, it tells you to get the 2 codes, but then it doesn't tell you what to do with them. So I figured it out. The symbol that it shows on the thing is the symbol that's at the bottom of the computer. I had completely forgotten about that. The one thing that I kind of wish that the game had that it doesn't, I wish it had a family tree, because I was looking for like the connections. I was like, it's got to be Elia. She's the only girl who's not related by marriage. She's like the daughter. Why is it not working? And just having a family tree that showed the different connections, that would have cut out some of that ambiguity. Yeah, I like that story a lot. I like the ending. Uh the choices. I was like, this is fucked up. What do I do? Yeah, so much good stuff. I really like this. And it's like an hour and a half. It's a very good time, it's a very good time for a game like this. The hint system, I kind of wish that I was able to just be like, which one of these is wrong? Because that would have saved me a little bit of frustration. But I think that this game is like very well written. I feel like this game is like very well put together. I like the fake OS. I think that it works really well with this kind of storytelling. I like the story. I like the town and the country that you've built. And I like piecing together the different mysteries. I had that, like, I think it was the second one where it was like, well, I think Dr. Ozlavo was one of the ones that disappeared in the forest, but I can't find that. And so I'm just going to put that in there and guess. And then it turned out to be right. I was like, oh my God. But yeah, that's what I've got for you. I've got 2 more Lost OS games, so I hope that you guys are ready for those ones. Hopefully they will be as good as this one, because I like this one a lot. So yeah, I'm gonna get out of here. Thank you all for joining me for another night of Strange and Scary Games. I love you. We'll see you in the next video. Good night.